Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. Welcome to your success video for the month of February, a little bit into March maybe. I'm excited by the card that you have. So you have the card here. The overall energy is that of joy. Joy is an attractive force. It will draw and attract more things to you. You have what am I grateful for right now, and you have what risk can I take today. The risk you take is something that will bring you joy, right? A risk is something that seems a little fun, a little out there. So your key really to manifesting is always, am I creating from the energy of joy? When we create from the energy of lack, we create more lack. But when we create from the energy of joy or success, that is what we try and bring in. The key here is to focus on your dreams and your goals. You have the card here of the star card here. Wow, you've got some major healing energy happening here. So manifesting through using the energy of joy is very beneficial. It has been a long time coming, right? You've been going through the North Node, moving through your sign. It's about to wrap that up over the course of the next couple of months here. It moves officially into Aries, I think like June 17th or something like that. And wow. And you're wrapping up a cycle. Okay, so what have you learned? So in this Lenormand deck that I'm using here, there's two snakes, and snakes are about transformation, and one of them has like this really harsh energy to it. It's kind of like this energy of watch out, someone might be out to get you kind of energy. And the other one is the one that says, okay, I'm done with that and I'm moving on to something new. And you have here for your overall energy the one that's shedding his skin with the scythe, which means a cycle, a difficult cycle has completed, but you are still in the harvesting stage. You will notice here that he's harvesting some of the wheat, but some of the wheat still needs to be harvested. You're not done yet, but you're really close, right? You're just a few minutes out from that completing. You do get another south node, well, north. Say that again. There is another eclipse, a full moon eclipse, another releasing eclipse that happens in your sign in November, right? Even though the North Node will have moved into Aries, there is still yet another eclipse coming. And so over the course of this next year, you are going to be completing this cycle, this harvesting, this wrapping up of this transformative energy that you're in. It is really a long time out, 6 months out from the time the moon has moved out of your sign, the North Node has moved out of your sign, and yet this energy here is about, in the typical Taurian way, taking its time to do it right, to wrap it up, to get it done. And so here, you know, this is the shedding of the skin. He is not completely out of it. He is shedding. He's really close, though. Not much left on there. Time to shake things loose. And so how do you finish this cycle up? You do it by choosing joy. What activities, what decisions, you know, you have an option at work. I can either, let's just say you could stay in the job where you're at and everything is going well there and you're paying your bills, but you're really kind of bored. And here's another opportunity coming, and it is for maybe the same money or less, but it's so much more fun and you really want to do that instead. Choose joy, because Taurus, you know how to manifest. So it might start out as less, but you know how to do that. This is a skill that you come here with. Your ability to look for opportunities, make a plan, and elevate yourself is something you do on a regular basis. You know how to stick to something and strengthen your capabilities enough to move into more and greater abundance, right? You know how to do that. And so trusting in your ability to do that, choose what brings the joy and the happiness. You know, I had an opportunity to take on a job that was really going to be very interesting, and it was way more money, but I would have had to live in in Miami, and I was worried about my ability to be comfortable in the language. I don't speak Spanish very well, and I would be working in an area where a lot of people who speak Spanish would have been. I would have been serving that community, and I wasn't sure I could do it. So I chose Orlando instead because I had access to the beaches on both sides on my day off. So sometimes I went to the Gulf, sometimes I went to Atlantic. It was less money, but it was more joy for me. And so it was something like that where you have this opportunity to kind of choose between some things. And so they're asking you to choose the joy. Choose the joy. And so take the risk if it feels like some kind of a downgrade or a loss in stature or maybe a title or whatever. But what's going to bring you the joy and the happiness? That's what they're asking you to pay attention to, because you could totally do it. So in the area of transformation here, we have the other snake. Now this is the vicious looking snake, the one you got to look out for. But we have the healing energy that came in on top of it. And so it is healing these low vibrational energies, these feelings of not being good enough or having to defend or being under attack or anywhere where you feel like the energy has been coming at you in a harsh way. You have an opportunity to heal it. And so allowing yourself the time to do that. But how do you do it? You do it through the energy of joy. So right now you're still in the winter season, right? The winter season, not necessarily where you live, but in the winter season of this cycle. Like spring is coming though. You can see, if you really pay attention, that snow is all melty. It is very much like this February energy that we're in right now in the Northern Hemisphere here, where it's a little slushy and we still are going to have some snowstorms and it's still going to have some cold, but you can feel it. Like you can wake up in the morning and you hear some birds. You can feel the approach of spring. Right? And so that's where you're at in this feeling of the approach of spring. You are moving through this energy. You have been taking a very good accounting of something. So I can see that you have been sitting down and figuring out the pros and cons. Good. I have nothing to add to that. That is a good practice. I'm on board with that. In your heart though, there is a change that you want to make, and you've been wanting to make it, and it's a change toward this energy of joy and happiness, and it feels like it's taken a long time. When we have the stork here, this is the long awaited change, and it's kind of draining your energy, as in, is this really going to work? Now, for some of you, you are moving. You are selling a house. You might be going through a divorce, but it definitely feels like a transfer of where you live. There is a contractual agreement that is being made and broken. I'm feeling both things. So if you're moving, you're selling a house, but you're going to buy a new one, right? If you have a job, you're leaving that job to get another one. If you have this long-term relationship, it may be that it is coming to an end, but if you're seeking the joy, that means there's another one on the horizon, whether or not you can see it. Because in the area of what is the struggle, we have the home and the ring, which is a contract. So this could be a contract of business, or this could be a contract with the house. This could be a contract with your significant other. So whatever the change is, it is affecting your home life for sure. Okay, so whether you're moving or you're moving on in a relationship or you're making a career change, and these things affect your significant other one way or the other, right? They're involved in this too. You can't just decide to take a job and, well, you shouldn't. I can't say you can't. I know people who've done this. You can't just decide. You should not just take a job and go, oh, I'm changing my life and everything about me. And by the way, I'm just going to tell you after I've already signed the contract, right? You can't. That's not how it works in a partnership. And so there's this energy around, that's been a struggle, is to figure out how to navigate these changes, because it doesn't just affect you. And so you're being asked in the area of resources to focus on your inner wisdom. She's using a pendulum. She's open to receiving guidance from spirit on what to do. And in your heart space, I mean, you just want to get moving. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. But you can't really, because we're still in the thaw. We're still in the last stages of winter, and spring hasn't quite come yet. And so the movement forward is slow. We have two riders here. In the heart space, you want to get moving. In reality, it's asking you to anchor into the Taurinian way of slow and steady wins the race, right? And so being focused on what your North Star is, on what the goal is, and the goal should always be joy, right? It's not about, yes, having financial security can definitely bring joy, right? But I know a lot of Tauruses. I collect them in my life like I don't know, like my mom used to collect salt and pepper shakers. The one thing I've noticed is that a lot of them will reach this point where they are financially secure. They're at the top of the food chain in their career. They have it all, and yet they always have the sense of lack and foreboding. One, they're afraid someone's going to come in and take it. It's not, I need more because I'm not sure I'm stable. That is a driving force. And another thing is that sometimes they get to the top and they have all the toys and they have everything, and they look around and they're like, but I feel empty inside. And it's because they forgot that they were supposed to be seeking joy. Abundance, true abundance, is when we're happy and we're joy-filled. And when we're happy and joy-filled, when we count our blessings, when we know what we're grateful for, when you can do that, the other things fall into place. They really do. And you're like, oh, I wouldn't have all of this without, I wouldn't have all of this if I didn't work really hard. But if you're still feeling empty inside, what do you really have? And I'm not trying to be mean here. This has been the journey of the North Node in your sign, asking you to point yourself toward joy. What actually fills you up? And I'm not asking you to take a step back financially. Spirit does not say that. Spirit says you can have all of the abundance, all of it. But to really feel abundant, you also have to have the joy. And the joy comes from self-love. And what are you doing to show yourself love? What are you, that risk? What risk can I take right now? It might be a risk to ask somebody out on a date. It might be a risk for you to make a fool of yourself and go join a swing club and learn how to swing dance. I'm not talking about a swingers club. Do you? But it is about doing something where you step out of your comfort zone because it's interesting and it would be fun. So maybe it's you're afraid of looking like a fool in front of some people because, like when I first took my first yoga class and I walked in, I'm like, the instructor goes, we're going to do this. And I thought, oh my God. And I started laughing and everybody looked at me and I'm like, what? We're going to do that? And I actually spent much of that class laughing because it was entertaining to try to achieve some of those things. But what I found was the class shared in my joy. And they shared in my, when I would nail a pose, they'd be like, yes, and so it's about investing in the joy and the happiness and not being afraid to look a little silly, right? I mean, I was old enough to be everybody's parent in that class. All right, so you have self-love. Are you investing in the self-value of time and energy? Notice as your abundance and money grows. The joy of enjoying life opens the spigot allows a greater flow of abundance into your life. That is how you create this thought. You create it through your own sense of having fun, doing things that you really enjoy. And I want to say, take a risk. Do something that you've always wanted to do that challenges you to step out of your comfort zone. Right? North Node in your sign always wants you to step out of your comfort zone. It's part of this healing process, you know. And when we learn to not judge ourselves for trying new things, then we also don't judge other people, and it just increases everybody's joy. Look at this. You have the Empress and the Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Spring. It is the thaw and the growth that is about to come in. So it says, time to take action, the power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. And it says, it's time to take action. They both say that. It's, in case you were wondering, it's time to take actions. It's just not full tilt ahead. It's slow and steady, right? It's the beginning part. Be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams. Your most treasured dreams. Pursue them. Be relentless in the pursuit of your own personal happiness and joy. And the other abundance that you're have this innate skill for will support you, but you will find that it opens up even more. You do have the card of quiet retreat. And this card has shown up a lot this month too. And it says, time to disconnect from the outer world so you can discern and process your true thoughts. Take advantage of this little bit of still in the wintry energy here. Remove yourself a little bit from the process and figure out what would really bring you joy and happiness. What really would, right? It's not, money does not equal happiness. And if you haven't figured that out yet, then it takes a while sometimes. And that would be unfortunate, because with the North Node moving out of your cycle, you might be another couple decades. So hopefully you're figuring this out, that money does not equal joy, but joy can increase money. It's a paradigm. It's a riddle that Taurus is here to learn. It's the labyrinth. They're showing me that labyrinth. The thread that leads back to your heart. That is success. So create quiet time for yourself, and you'll have more clarity about what to do next. Take a little time out. The action, it's coming. But the first action step to take is the action of gratitude. What am I grateful for that I already have? And what am I willing to risk a little? What am I willing to risk a little to bring in joy? That's the action. Take action toward joy. Wow, quite the reading. All right, Taurus, I hope you found that helpful. Facebook every day if you want to check that out. Guys, have a great month ahead. It looks amazing. All right, I'll talk to you soon.